Well, good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. We all know what we were confronted with early this morning. I can tell you about 2:30 this morning, I received a call from Fox News, and they had asked me to come in and to address the tragic situation in Las Vegas. I'm going to be talking to you about that very shortly. In fact, I was there at 3:30 this morning and got home about an hour and a half ago. I will be back tomorrow morning on Fox Business Network about 5 a.m. and I'm going to stay pretty much the whole day. And at 11 a.m. I'll be on Fox News, and then I think a little bit later in the day we're going to do another report. Now, all of our videos on Fox and on CNN, wherever I'm going, is posted on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. So if you'd like to see exactly what was said with regard to any issue that we are addressing around this globe, please go to our YouTube channel or on our Facebook channel and you'll be able to get the facts. And that's what I want to talk about, our facts. We're going to talk about what's happened in Las Vegas. We're going to talk about what's going on in Puerto Rico. It's important that you listen to what I share with you regarding Puerto Rico. There's been a lot going on with regard to fake news, with regard to sensationalism, with regard to information that's being fed to you by the mainstream media that is simply not true. We're going to talk to you about that. And then, of course, I'm going to share with you some words about New Jersey Team Trump. And then I'm going to hopefully open it up for some questions. Now, I'd like to share this with you. Last week, I don't know what happened Monday night with regard to our transmission here on both YouTube and Facebook, but we had record-breaking viewers. 6,500 people viewed our broadcast on YouTube and Facebook Live last Monday night. This is why we're back here this Monday night. We're asking you to do what you did last week. Call your friends, your relatives, share what we are sharing with you on these broadcasts. Apparently you got the word out, because we received not only 6,500 views, but hundreds and hundreds of comments from people all over the country. And they're thanking us for giving them the opportunity to hear what we have to say with regard to a lot of these issues. Now, let's talk about Las Vegas. As you and I are sitting here this evening, the investigation is continuing. Now, despite what certain mainstream media outlets are saying, and despite what certain people are saying with regard to the investigation, here's fact number one. As of now, fact number one is it's very clear that there is no foreign terrorist nexus to this incident at all. ISIS claimed that they had something to do with it. That's blatantly a lie. It's false. ISIS had nothing to do with this attack in Las Vegas. As of now, we know that. Now, if the investigation goes on and the Las Vegas police and the FBI find that there's some sort of self-radicalization or radicalization from a foreign entity, of course that changes the story. But as of now, there's no evidence that ISIS had anything to do with this. That's number one. Number two, it's pretty clear that this individual absolutely did some reconnaissance in that area before he decided to attack these people. I personally believe that there were accomplices. I personally believe that not only were the accomplices involved in possible pre-planning, but they could have been involved in supplying the weapons to him. All that is under investigation. So there's no conclusive evidence that there is a number of accomplices, but this is my personal opinion based on my experience as a law enforcement officer. Now, the girlfriend or the roommate that he had, apparently she was questioned. They didn't receive any additional information from her with regard to the investigation. So as a result, I believe that she was released, and that if they need her in the future, they certainly know where she is, and they'll talk to her. So the bottom line with regard to the investigation in Las Vegas is simply this. It's ongoing. There's a lot of forensics analysis going on. The search warrants are being executed for this individual's computers, his phones. They want to know where the weapons came from. How did he get all of these weapons? I mean, this is going to take many, many days before law enforcement is able to conclude this investigation. But here is something that is vitally important. What was the motive? Was this individual, was he acting alone for reasons that we do not yet know? If it was politically motivated, then indeed it would be classified a quote-unquote terrorist attack. Look, to me, it's a terrorist attack. We've got so conditioned in this country to use the word terrorist attack only if ISIS or Al-Qaeda or some sort of foreign entity is involved, that when a mass shooting like this occurs, for some reason people don't want to call it terrorism. To me, it's terrorism. When you look at the faces of the victims, when you look at the carnage and look at the disaster that took place during this incident, you can only think of one word: terror. So we got to kind of dismiss all of this political correctness, and we shouldn't say this and we shouldn't say that, and we have to make it very clear that indeed this was an act of terrorism. Maybe no foreign entity, maybe no, excuse me folks, I just lost something here. This is our technology these days. So I think we lost our transmission, folks, on Facebook. Oh, I think we're back now. So the fact of the matter is that we try to fix this. This is what we call primitive technology. I think we're back. Okay. The fact of the matter is that there's a lot of fake news out there, a lot of conclusions being drawn that are not true, and as a result, there's a lot of confusion, and we have to make sure that at least we get the proper information out. Now let's talk about Puerto Rico. A lot of information is coming from the mainstream media about Puerto Rico. We're hearing the hue and cry that the United States government is not responding adequately and responsibly to the Puerto Rican people. The mayor of Puerto Rico, the only elected official, to my knowledge, on the whole, in the whole country, in the whole situation here, the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico, is the only one complaining. She got on the news and she hammered away at the President of the United States, claiming that he doesn't care, that he didn't respond adequately, and on and on and on and on. And the Democrats apparently picked up on that. The mainstream media picked up on that, and there they run with the ball in an attempt to make the administration, the Trump administration, look bad. Well, lo and behold, the recent governor of Puerto Rico, the former governor of Puerto Rico, and a multitude of mayors in Puerto Rico stand shoulder to shoulder with President Donald J. Trump. They made it very, very clear to anyone who was willing to listen that the supplies that the people need in Puerto Rico were on the mainland there. The medical equipment, the medical supplies, the generators, the food, water, it was all there. The problem that we were facing early on in the effort to distribute all of this was the fact that there wasn't enough manpower on the ground, number one, to distribute it, and the president took care of that by bringing the military in, and secondly, the roads were blocked and there was a lot of destruction. All this had to be cleared by the Army Corps of Engineers. Once all that was cleared, then all the supplies and all the water and all the food, you name it, it was out there very, very quickly. So I believe that 80 to 90% of the supplies are now being distributed throughout the entire country, and the political structure there is commending the president for the job he did, except for one person, and that is the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico. So when people get on the air like she did and took her 15 minutes of fame, you know what? It's time for her to sit back, relax, take it easy, and become a leader. It was discovered well after she began to criticize the president and the administration that she was asked several times to attend the FEMA meetings that were approximately a half a mile away from her home and her office. The leaders in Puerto Rico said she was nowhere to be found. You could not find the San Juan mayor at these critical, vital, informational, and intelligence meetings in San Juan in order to get the political structure on board. She wasn't there, nowhere to be found. So she doesn't go to the meetings. She goes on the mainstream media and starts criticizing the president, starts criticizing this government, which is her government. She is an American. And look what happens. Well, she got discovered. So the president of the United States responded responsibly, and now the people of Puerto Rico are receiving all of the equipment, the electrical grids. They're rebuilding those grids. They've got all sorts of supplies there, medical supplies. The hospitals are up and running. Look, not everything is 100%. going to take a lot of time to bring a lot more there. But at least the essentials are now beginning to get distributed throughout the entire country. So that's about Puerto Rico, and when we've shared some facts with you about the situation in Las Vegas. And let's talk a little bit now about what we're doing here at New Jersey Team Trump. I'm getting multiple messages and emails and some calls about people who want to become involved with New Jersey Team Trump. You're welcome to join us. No matter what state you're in, you are welcome to join New Jersey Team Trump. And here's what we ask our partners to do. We ask you to tune in on these Facebook and YouTube broadcasts every single Monday night at 7 o'clock. We ask you to look at all of the video messages that we post, and all of them, whether it be CNN or Fox News or whatever. We post these broadcasts on our YouTube channel, on Facebook. We ask you to share those. Share them wide and far, because through you, we're able to overcome the information that the mainstream media is putting out there. Very, very critically important. So as a New Jersey Team Trump partner, you could actually work from your home. You don't have to go anywhere. We don't have monthly meetings. We're looking at maybe 3, maybe 4 meetings a year where we could all come together, maybe do a nice dinner, a nice lunch, have a guest speaker that will continue to articulate some of the Make America Great Again policies. And it's going to be kind of a fun thing when we get together. You're going to get, by the way, every single week, a Make America Great Again newsletter and briefing where you'll get facts as to what had occurred the week before with regard to any incident around the world. Now, usually we get these newsletters out on Mondays. You probably won't get them out, get this week's issue till tomorrow, because some more information regarding the most recent incidents in Puerto Rico and Las Vegas are being gathered, and we want to make sure we get you these facts. Now, why is it so important that we get you these facts? You're asked, I'm sure, what's the president doing about this? What is the president doing about that? What do you think about this on the internet? What do you think about that broadcasting on mainstream media? We want you to have facts. Look, let me give you an example. We've encouraged people all over the country. When you get something on the internet that is depicting something that the mainstream media is doing, or that the left or the progressives or whoever people opposed to the White House are doing, we're asking you to delete it. We are not asking you to send it out and become the instrument of the people who are opposed to us. Just delete it. We just want the facts from New Jersey Team Trump, the facts from the White House, and the facts from the Trump campaign to go out. So the result of many of you no longer sending information out, and only the information that we are sending to you, the result of that, 6,500 views last week, and 109,000 people following on Twitter, and on and on and on. Because people are actually contacting us saying, look, we like this idea. We didn't know the president accomplished this or accomplished that. That's very, very important. Let me give you an example. 4 or 5 times I received a video of a police broadcast, an alleged police broadcast in Puerto Rico of an officer or someone claiming that some of the political leaders in Puerto Rico are purposely sabotaging the rescue efforts. There is absolutely no evidence that that is authentic. None at all. No one knows if it's authentic. No one knows who did that, who produced that. No one knows if that was made and produced by the left to misdirect us or to create some sort of hysteria. So what we do is, when these things are sent to us, we delete them. We get rid of them. We don't even acknowledge them. Because unless it's coming from the White House, unless it's coming from us, believe me, really question what that's all about. That's why we are sending out positive news, positive information. And we've got more, a lot more that's going to be coming out. So that is critically important. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at this this little scroll here. If you have any questions about anything, now's the time to ask me. And then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to make these broadcasts kind of short and sweet so that you could get back to watching maybe Andy Griffith tonight. Maybe the Honeymooners find something to look at. You know what I'm driving at? And I'm not going to articulate too much on this, but the NFL, they're losing millions and millions of dollars because you have spoken. You, the American people, have made it clear that you're fed up with the disrespect that is going on in reference to the American flag and the national anthem. You've spoken. And I said this last week. When the owners feel the pinch in their pockets, they're going to change their tune. They're not interested, folks. Believe me, they're not interested in red, white, blue, black, and white. The owners are only interested in one color, and that's green. That's all they're interested in. They could give a hoot about how the players feel, how the players' union feels, how I feel, how you feel. All they're concerned about is green, and they miscalculated. They really miscalculated the American people. They didn't think that the American people would stand up for God and for country, and they decided to side with a group of players who, for whatever reason, decided to protest the national anthem and the flag. And look, they have the right. We said under the First Amendment they have the right, but it doesn't make it right. And the thing that I feared became a reality, that now there are school children around the country who are taking a kneel on the football field and on the sports field. Look at the NFL. Amazing. I said I wasn't going to articulate much about it, but as you begin to speak about it, maybe it's necessary to just make a few points. So forgive me if I'm boring you with this, but I'm sure it's on everyone's mind. So just a few more minutes. The point is that the NFL used to be a great role model organization for young people across the country. You had Pop Warner football. You had all sorts of Little League football in high school and middle school and elementary school. And we used to look up to the NFL players. We used to look up to those individuals as role models for our children. No more. No more. All we have left now is Major League Baseball. I hope to God that they continue to stand strong. We've got we've got hockey, NASCAR. You talk about NASCAR, they raise that flag and they honor this country every time there's an event. So we have a lot of great sports professionals that probably don't even want to be involved in this stuff. But the owners, they heard your message. So keep it up, folks. Let's cost them another few $1 million and really teach them a lesson. Because when it comes to this country, it is absolutely unnecessary and dead wrong to protest that great and wonderful flag. That's a symbol of our freedom, for goodness sakes. You want to protest, do it outside the stadium. Do it out on the street. I don't care what you do, as long as you're not doing it against this country. And that's what's very, very important. That's the message we need to get to our young people. All right, so let's see what we have here. We're going to try to get some questions in, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I'll tell you, if I'm jumping here and there, I'm really tired, folks. I feel myself kind of speeding a little bit. Really tired. Been up since 3:30 this morning, and I got to go back into Fox 3:30 tomorrow morning. But, I made a commitment that we're going to do this every Monday night, and I want to make sure that we live up to that commitment. Okay, so, all right, there are some questions I could see, and really not some of the things I already talked about. So, okay, so we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to ask you to once again share this on your computer, on your iPad, on your telephones. Let your friends and your neighbors and your relatives know that we do have a program, an organization here in New Jersey. It's TeamTrumpNJ.us, TeamTrumpNJ.us. That's our website, www.teamtrumpnj.us. Go to that website. Now you're going to see a navigation bar that says volunteer. Click that button, fill that out. Your name will be populated into a list that will enable us to send to you our briefings, our newsletters, and all the information that we're getting from the Trump campaign to you, so that you'll be able to use that information in response to many of the questions that I'm sure you're receiving. And I see Michelle, she's on our board of directors. She actually put our website up there, teamtrumpnj.us. Now, if you have any questions, any at all, you could actually email us. We're going to post the email, and we do get back to you. We've asked individuals around the state of New Jersey to reach out to their VFW, civic, religious organizations, business organizations, ask them if they would like us to come as representatives of New Jersey Team Trump, and we will come and we will speak to them about any topic that they would like us to speak about. I've had some invitations already from some business organizations that want us to bring the president's message regarding his jobs and apprentice program. That's something that we hope to do beginning in November or possibly January. One more thing. We are beginning to talk to individuals about running for the United States Congress and the United States Senate. Very, very important, folks. We're beginning to vet individuals. We're beginning to interview them. If you feel it in your heart to really want to make a commitment to the president's administration in the midterm elections, email us. Let us know you're interested in running for Congress or the United States Senate. We're looking at these midterm elections. Very, very important. The president needs help. I said it once and I'll say it again. It's very disheartening when I talk to Republicans and they're distancing themselves from the President of the United States. I've talked to a number of New Jersey Republicans who told me that, look, they're running for office, but they don't want to offend the left. They don't want to offend certain groups of people. So when it comes to President Trump, they're being neutral. Folks, the fact of the matter is when they make statements like that to me, they're offending me. They're offending the President of the United States. They're offending every single Republican that voted for the President. Either you're with him or you're against him. So we're going out and we are recruiting candidates for Congress and for the United States Senate. And we sat down with a couple already, and we're going to be talking to them about how to establish a campaign committee and then go for it. Go for it in the primary. And we're going to work hard, and we're going to knock out those individuals who got elected on the president's coattails a couple of years ago, and we're going to make sure that those who are running and those who we are supporting are standing shoulder to shoulder with President Donald J. Trump. We're not going to sit around and allow these individuals to benefit on the work that we did for so long, to benefit on the leadership that this president has provided for the past few years since he got into office. We're no longer going to sit back. So we've got thousands, and when I say we have thousands, I'm talking about our followers on Twitter. Look, take a look at our Twitter. Just take a look at the word followers. 109,000 people are following us on Twitter. I'm not suggesting that all 109,000 are friendly. I'm sure there are a lot of people who oppose what we're doing on Twitter, just kind of want to watch what we're doing. But I can tell you, the overwhelming majority of those people are friendly and supportive of the president, and a huge number of them, and I would venture to say maybe 25, 30,000 are from the state of New Jersey. And let me add this. When you've got 20,000 people on Facebook, you've got another 2,000 on Instagram, and on and on and on, and we're building a massive Team Trump army again. It says something to you. And that's the message I'm conveying to Republicans, not only in New Jersey, but around the country. We need you to step up, ladies and gentlemen, and to get involved. Listen, it may be your calling. You don't know. Think about it. Pray about it. And speaking about prayer, before I wrap it up, I urge you, encourage you, look at the president's speech today at 10:30 this morning. Look at the president's speech. We're going to post it a little later. We'll either put it on our YouTube channel or actually have it put on Facebook. That was one of the most emotional, moving speeches that I've heard him give to the American people this morning when he talked about Las Vegas. The President of the United States stood up very strong and encouraged this country. He talked about unity. He talked about God. Could you imagine? Man, this president used a lot of scripture in his speech. So proud of him that when you talk about role models, think about this. You know, despite what the mainstream media and the left says with regard to the president, when a president of the United States of America makes a speech and just about every other sentence talks about God and talks about country and talks about prayer and adds scripture to his narrative to the people of this country, that is a role model that we want our children to follow. That is a role model. The President of the United States has always been a good father, good husband, a good businessman. And you know what? He's a darn good president. So let's stand up shoulder to shoulder with Donald J. Trump. Let's be strong and let's make America great again by doing some of the things that he needs us to do. So I'm going to wrap it up, folks. I'm going to try to get some rest. Tomorrow morning around 5 o'clock, I'll be on the Fox Business Network. I think it's called Fox Business AM. It's that early. It's the first show, I think, on Fox Business. And then at 11 o'clock a.m., and we're going to post this, I'll be on Happening Now on the Fox News Network channel. That's it, folks. We're going to post the emails. We're going to post our website. Thank you very much for putting up with me tonight. I know I covered a lot of ground, but I wanted to make sure that you get this information. Please share. Share, share, share. That's the only way we overcome the mainstream media, by you sharing. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the President of the United States.